So I'm gonna pull up.
He missed the theme song. We haven't played it in a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while. So this is some future stuff. It's actually kind of a positive future stuff. It's not artificial intelligence ready to copy you and kill you in your sleep. It's not robots hunting your children down. It's not flying cars.
Or sniffing your homeless people.
It's actually a cool thing that's happening. Is the molecular drinks printer claims to make anything from iced coffee to cocktails. So apparently it's a new machine that they hopefully is going to come out soon. It's going to a company called Cana has revealed what is called the planet's first molecular beverage printer. The idea is that using
printing orange juice, like how the fuck do you do that?
Yes, this is crazy, right? So the idea is that using a single cartridge of flavorings, the machine can mix one of thousands of different beverages, including juice, soft drinks, iced coffees, sports drinks, wine, and cocktail. This sounds like Midas, like the Midas thing that turns everything to gold. This is unbelievable shit. So it's designed to sit on a kitchen countertop. You'll be able to select a drink from a wide range of beverage types and brands using a touchscreen. You can customize the levels of alcohol, so you can poison yourself, or you can like just zoot yourself out with some caffeine, like you're on Coke. You can get diabetes at the high. Caffeine, alcoholic and caffeinated drinks. Like,
can it make water?
I mean, that's. I mean, like, what's the point of having it? So the system uses a novel microfluidic liquid dispense technology, which sounds like a made-up term.
Sounds artificial as fuck.
That means nothing. To mix the beverages, say at least 90% of what we drink is water with flavorings, sugar, and alcohol added in, which is true. They're being dead honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The garbage you drink is this sugar and alcohol. So kind of automatically replace a unit cartridges, which should last around a month as much as needed at no cost. However, you pay for devices concoctions on a per drink basis. What? I don't get this. So this shit is at your home. You have to pay this machine at your house each drink. That sounds really dystopian to me, if I'm getting this right. So each one will cost around 28 cents and $3. You have to pay this machine per drink to make drinks for you. It's kind of strange. So it remains to be seen how well the company's claim hold up in practice. Though you can reserve a Cana one now, you need to plunk down $99, which is a refundable credit because they may never be made because they're already making up terms about it. The Cana will cost $499 for the first 10,000 orders, rising to $799 after that. The company expects to start rapid.
All right, so you get to pay $800 for the privilege of paying more money per drink.
See, no. If you get it first, if you get the first 10,000 orders, you pay $500. But if you're late, after the 10,000, you pay $800. That's what that means. So they're awarding early adopters with the actual price because making this kind of shit is mad cheap anyways. It's mad plastic and shit at the end of the day.
Sounds like you'd be drinking plastic.
So I'm gonna show. So like I just showing you pictures of this shit. So shout out to Twitch. Shout out to we're on TV right now. So shout out to Facebook. We have people chatting up there right now and Twitter. So I'm good with just water and delicious fruit juice. You don't want a computer making drinks for you. You don't want that.
But the thing is, like that machine is supposed to be able to print orange juice as well. That scares the shit out of me.
I think maybe it prints more like fucking like Sunny Delight. That's what it sounds like to me. It's not really orange juice, like Sunny Delight.
Yeah.
This is absolutely nuts. It's only about half of the amount of prepackaged drinks the average U.S. household consumes in a year. About 5,000.
Aren't you supposed to be like reviewing cars or something?
A bunch of water. And that water, which is increasingly precious, is generic. You've got water at home. Why is it being shipped to you from around your region, around the country, sometimes from around the world? And what about the energy it takes to bring that to you? How much CO2 is generated in moving water all around the place?
How much revenue is generated?
To a household that already has water. A startup in Silicon Valley called Cana says, wait a minute, let's keep the water where it already is and let's just move the flavors around to make this less of an environmental nightmare and radically expand choice and personalization.
Every home in the industrialized world has water. So, the concept that we came up with about 3 years ago was, can we take just that 1% that differentiates water into coffee, tea, juice, soda, beer, wine, liquor.
Oh, it's soda orange juice. A soda orange juice.
Yeah.
Let's rewind that. We rewind to the.
Effectively
It
make a
did made orange
beverage.
juice. They're not making it up.
In the industrialized world.
Yeah,
with water.
I told.
So, the concept that we came up with about 3 years ago was, can we take just that 1% that differentiates water?
They came up with the concept
coffee,
3 years ago, and I was
tea,
supposed to drink
juice,
that shit?
soda, beer, wine, liquor, whatever.
It looked like Sunday
and
Light.
just
It don't
ship
look
the
like real orange
1%
juice.
and then have people use water in their home and effectively make a beverage printer.
Let me show you where some of the magic lives. Here's the key. Water. You have water.
Whoa!
By having this coming out of your tap, that saves a huge amount of
that was
containers of beverages that are mostly water being shipped all over the country, sometimes all over the globe. Here is your spirits, alcohol for alcoholic beverages. This cartridge here has sugar for sweetening
I want to
drinks
see you
that need
review a
that.
car,
Here
Brian
is a
Cooley.
CO2 cylinder. These are pretty common. We all are pretty familiar with those already. And then the one you can't see up inside here is where the magic really lives. It's this big array of little cells.
There's an alien in there.
84 different flavor compounds, but just elemental
alien
building
nipples
blocks,
squeezing
not
out
something
juice
you get off the shelf at a grocery store like vanilla, but just the kind of molecules that make up flavors. And those are blended into
This
this
sounds the
unlimited
opposite of being
number drinks.
environmental, to be honest to me. But I don't know. I think this drink water.
Now, the dirty little secret about what you taste when you have a drink, whether it's something as different as a red wine to a white wine, is that there aren't that many components that make it that different. You may think, oh, these are like completely different molecules. Not really. Look at this chromatograph where they've taken a look at the molecular flavor structure of red and white wines, compared,
Humanity
overlaid
is
on each
done.
other. Notice how they
Humanity is
spike
over.
and go null in kind of the
son.
same places. That means they have a lot of very
Close up all the
similar
liquor stores,
sorts of
close up
flavor
all the
cues
bodegas.
that make you taste
Just go
wine.
to that-
They're
go
not
to the
nearly as
computer
different as you
dispenser.
might think.
There's about
I mean, we're bringing
500
Star
unique
Trek to life,
molecules
really.
That are grown by
replicator?
the plant, that are in the oak barrel, etc., that ultimately contribute to the flavor profile of that wine. Those 500 unique molecules, when you add them all up, they're only about 1% of the mass of the wine. But those 500 molecules, it turns out, aren't really what's needed to flavor the wine. That's just what nature gave us. Turns out you can take most of them away and end up with maybe 30 to 40 compounds, and a consumer would not be able to tell the difference between the reduced wine and the original
Until they're
wine.
diagnosed with
Which,
cancer,
of course,
like
will make a lot
3
of wine
hours later.
snobs' heads explode.
That's when they'll tell the
But
difference.
overall, this is the same approach of streaming compressed video or
Oh,
compressed
no.
JPEG images that have
We don't like
revolutionized
that.
media.
I don't like. I don't like.
That's not a way to sell this.
I don't like the comparison when I drink to.
Now, as you
streaming
move through
video.
the interface on the Cana machine,
You
you're
don't
going
need
to find
all
that
the
it's
orange
not unlike
juice
today's
for
streaming
orange
television
juice.
experience. You've got bands
Need 5%
of
of it.
areas of interest or commonality, and then when you go horizontally across those, you'll find the drinks, or the shows in this case, of what
Stop
is
saying
in
that.
each of those aggregations. What you will also notice here is brands are not ones you know. Here's a small Southern California-based beverage brand. This one's interesting. Search. They're not even in the food or beverage business, yet they have a branded beverage tab here because they're focused on the health of sharks in the ocean. Therefore, they can bring about a drink that ties into the environmental promise of this device and have the proceeds from whenever you make one of those drinks go to their funds.
I sampled drinks that ranged from a cold brew coffee to a tasty blueberry cooler that wasn't even blue to an alcoholic mimosa that I added wellness ingredients to at my own ironic whim. Each one was quite good. It's
Someone's gonna
different
poison
from
himself
the
by
conventional
accident.
version. That variation is sort of the point.
Personalized choice,
So it's gonna have
their
a heart
own
attack.
version, something that they can relate to that's a smaller niche but more one-to-one. So if we have 1 million beverage brands instead of
He
150
aged 17
on the
years
store
drinking that
shelf,
shit.
everyone will find a beverage brand that they'll love. They'll find something that will be a better fit for them
think Coca-Cola's
individually
gonna shut
versus
this
being
shit down
participants
unless
in the
they buy
lowest
it.
common denominator solution that the big brands created for all of us. We all buy Coke, we all buy Pepsi.
Xenon says that
Turns out
restaurants
people
use
don't want that
machines like
anymore.
this.
And like social
Anyway.
media platforms, Cana's
they're broken
system will
most of the
support a
time,
wide
that
network of
experience.
creators and recommenders who will make beverage micro brands through the machine and its platform. And they'll share in the revenue when you pour yourself one.
Yo,
Now,
Coca-Cola's gonna
TikTok
assassinate
shenanigans are
somebody
one thing, but it
over
remains
this.
to be seen how many of us want influencers,
Coca-Cola
friends,
will
or
jump out
celebs
of the
to be our
machine and
beverage
strangle you.
tastemakers.
But you'll try it. And so if something that you know and trust is representing a brand, is representing a consumable for you, you'll try it. And as long as it tastes great and provides extraordinary value, you'll stick with it.
If enough consumers wrap their heads around Cana, it's targeting what they say is 400 trillion liters of water used and 540 million tons of CO2 created annually in the global home beverage business.
It doesn't make industrial, economic, or environmental sense anymore to take water and put it in glass and plastic bottles and ship it to stores and then ship it to people's homes and waste all these resources and have everyone have to pick from the same 50 brands. It makes no sense in this world.
It makes a lot of sense because those 50 brands get a lot of money.
What does it cost?
Yeah, they're gonna
Several
fuck you
answers
up
to
over
that
this.
question.
Hell
First of all,
yeah.
Cana has just opened up the door for pre-reservations. A $99 pre-reservation signs you up for a launch edition machine, of which they'll make 10,000 at a
Man, they're
lower
gonna
price
launch
of
you into the moon.
$499 each. Later, they go up to
He's talking
$799
crazy. He's
if you
like,
buy
you know,
one
we're
after the
trying to
first
wipe these
10,000.
companies out.
But the key thing here is, what does it cost per drink?
Does it
Unlike
print
electric
water?
cars or plant-based proteins, Cana wants to enter the market cheaper than the existing beverage market. They think about 25 or 30% cheaper for a given beverage. In real money, 29 cents, kind of at the bottom end, if you just want this thing to give you a carbonated water, it's CO2 in your tap water, all the way up to a little under $2 for a total premium top shelf cocktail. Remember, it's got alcohol in here as well for that purpose. Now, paying for all these drinks is going to be a little bit of a mind bender. The cartridge that has the ingredients that makes them is no cost in a sense. You pay per drink at those different price levels, but the cartridge arrives just as a background service. That's very different than an inkjet printer where you pay for the cartridges, and that's a fixed cost with a lot of waste perhaps built in. Now look, it's a lot of fun to have all kinds of drinks available and have them in a new way of exploring and making them creatively. But of course, there are challenges to any radical change in something that we normally deal with rather simply. First of all, the sheer amount of choice. Now, we've learned lately through the way we consume music and video that choice is our thing. Personalization is what we do, and we're less interested in just grabbing what everyone else does off the shelf. You've also got the introduction of a new machine into so many households. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But we've also lately been buying a lot of beverage creation machines. So that table seems to be set as well. And then finally, there is the issue of brands. We use brands as shortcuts to find what's good. And that's why so many of us do a lot of the same thing and why brands spend billions to become big ones. But Cana is rolling the dice on the idea that we want to see brands of beverages that are tuned to us and also come from voices that maybe are not traditionally beverage makers. Would you trust an athlete who you really like to recommend a sports drink? Doesn't seem far-fetched. Or how about some kind of an organization that really knows the environment well to tell you about a drink that's good for the environment? Or maybe a medical clinic in your community that says this is the healthy beverage
The blackest
for
drink you know.
and the kind of health conditions you're dealing with.
Great baby.
All of
The
these are
blackest drink we
radically
could
new
find.
vectors in terms of making beverages something that doesn't have the least
Purple
common
scissor.
denominator label stuck all over it.
So you got it. I don't know what Twitch and Facebook feels about that, but that's the business. I mean, they're really serious. They got the car. They got a guy apparently thought they were genius. He sells cars and he's selling that, so it must be serious.
I miss the days when Brian Cooley was just, CNET on cars. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, hey, we want a cup of orange juice. Yeah, here's some orange juice, but without all of the compounds that make up orange juice.
It's 3% orange juice because there's no more oranges anymore. The orange plant went extinct, so you have to use this machine. So I think that's what's going to happen. So we got. So I just want to share some, I guess, kind of positive, some future stuff. If they're betting that you won't be able to leave your house because of a massive pandemic or radiation or whatever, so you have to use that machine to make your beverages. I guess that's what they betted on. After the nuclear war breaks out, you have to be stuck in your house.
Well, I mean, the radiation that'll kind of be settling down. Even if the drinks are fake as shit, it's better than fucking dying of fucking poisoning from like fucking isotopes and shit. You know,
get those iodine pills ready. You know, so
rub all the iodine all over you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can print. Maybe the machine can print some iodine for you.
Yeah.
It won't be all of the iodine. It'll only
3%.
Yeah, it'll only be the compounds that make it look weird and make it think it's helping you.
So that's some future stuff. Keep an eye on that brand and see if they're actually come out, because there's a lot of vaporwave shit nowadays. Because that seems to be the vibe. You come up with an idea, you take someone's money, and then the idea never comes out, but you have everybody's money. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's some future stuff. You can follow Black Power Magic Hour on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and act.tv. Then Dr. Regina, he's talking shit and playing games on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, Twitter, and that's some future stuff. Carbonated edition.